From Volusia to Chico, Williams Grove to Knoxville, and all dirt tracks in between and beyond. This is Winged Nation. 1 full hour of news and interviews with today's top dirt drivers. Now, your award-winning hosts, Steve Post and Kendra Jacobs.
Hello again, everyone. Welcome in. It is Wing Nation here on MRN.com, talking sprint car racing, our favorite time of the week. We are glad you joined us here as we review Knoxville, look forward, and, actually deal with some bad news in the sport as well, which we absolutely hate doing that, but we certainly want to do that as well. We're glad you joined us. Kendra Jacobs is on special assignment, so Ashley Stremme is alongside. Hello, Ashley. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Appreciate you hanging out after slinging dirt.
I'm so excited to hear about this whole trip to Knoxville this weekend that I wasn't invited to.
You know, I mean, Knoxville is just amazing. It really is. And I put some. I'm really happy, and I don't have it in front of me what I put on my Facebook, because you say it's great racing, great friends, great family, great food, great partying, great this, great that, great the other, great this, great that.
But not great sleeping.
Times 8 zillion. You know, I mean, it's like everything is amped up, and everyone is just so fired up to be there. It's, you know, really, I think more so than anything else, it's got the feeling of just this monster family reunion.
It truly is. It's been several years since I've been there, but there was a stretch that I was there like 4 or 5 years in a row, and I miss it. It's so true. The camaraderie, even though you're rivals, it's a family that you might be related down the road somewhere, but
exactly.
It's just you're that sprint car, I don't even know how to put
have
words around it.
Interests,
absolutely,
so that everyone is friends.
Yep.
People you know are friends, people you don't know as friends. Because you have that common interest and that common goal. The city of Knoxville, the town of Knoxville, they just amazingly roll out the red carpet. There's stuff everywhere. I mean, there's souvenir rigs and tents and food stands, and it's just insane everywhere. And, you know, it's amazing. I think obviously we did some shows out there, and they were great. The racing was spectacular. Everything was good. But on Saturday afternoon, I just had a little downtime. And the wall that runs right along the main street there between the Hall of Fame and the opening of the Speedway, I had to do a couple things on my Twitter machine. So I went over there. It was all shady and nice, sat on the wall, and then I said, you know what, I'm just going to sit here and watch for a while. And I ended up sitting there for an hour, talked to some fans from California, some folks from Pennsylvania, some folks from Ohio, some Canadian folks, you know what I mean? But just hanging out there watching it, watching cars go by and people watching, and, you know, just absolutely amazing what it was. And really it kind of hit at the time when the cars were starting to load in on Saturday, so saw a couple team trucks roll by and people waving at them. You know, I mean, it's like everything. It's like a little bit of a parade and a big party, and so amazing.
And a race breaks out.
And a race breaks out, exactly. So amazing. Wing Nation and Knoxville Raceway, Brian Stickle and the staff out there have done a great job in rolling out the red carpets for us. We had amazing shows.
It looked like the pictures that I saw, they were 15, 20 deep.
Huge crowds. Yeah, great driver interviews. The drivers are fantastic, you know. I mean, and we started off, we stacked the deck to start off. You know, I mean, you know, on our first show, we had Steve Kinzer and Doug Wolfgang together.
I can't imagine the stories that went on right there.
Unbelievable. Just fantastic. The good news is they're all archived on MRN.com.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that.
You know, one thing I thought was neat about Wolfgang, okay, he came out in a Weichert T-shirt.
Really?
Okay, which was cool and everything like that. And, you know, and he had the sleeves cut off. Which was Doug Wolfgang, okay? Here's the thing that's really cool about that. We got Krager or Frank Beers took a picture from back with the crowd out in front of us. It was a Danny Dietrich T-shirt.
Really?
Yeah, he was wearing a Danny Dietrich T-shirt.
That's cool.
I mean, it was Weichert, and you look at it and you say, "Oh, there's Wolfgang, there's Weichert." You know, you didn't look closely, but and it was like the day after when I was looking at that picture, I'm like, wait a minute, that's a Dietrich T-shirt.
That's cool.
That was really, really cool. I mean, just a lot of little things like that. Really, really cool. So just a great, great time.
What was the best thing you ate?
Best thing I ate was, oh my gosh, the cheeseburger at the Marion County Cattleman stand.
Really? That was not what I was expecting.
Well, the pork tenderloin was good. The
Hawaiian chicken
was good. Hodnett hooked me up on a bar. Okay, Hodnett. Now, Hodnett was on our TV show on MAV TV a couple weeks ago. We were talking about food, and he says he's trying to watch his weight. He eats whole wheat pasta.
Is this big around?
He eats whole wheat pasta and unbreaded chicken. Okay, so I arrive in Knoxville, And I'm walking through the pit area, and I'm getting, and next thing I know, he's calling me over. He's like, I got a barbecue joint for you. And he told me about this barbecue stand.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I'm taking food advice from a guy that eats whole wheat pasta and unbreaded chicken. Hot Nuts barbecue stand was pretty sporty.
Pretty sporty?
Pretty sporty indeed. Yeah, went over there, and they had a bacon mac and cheese. Yeah, bacon mac
pork,
and cheese. No, pork. They had pork, but the side, they had a bacon mac and cheese.
Oh, I see.
Oh, my gosh. It was just like...
I thought you meant it was like all on one sandwich.
They could have done that. And I'd have been happy, too. Really, really good. The Cattleman's had a prime rib ribeye set. It's just, everything is great.
Did you at least have a walking taco? Those are my favorite.
No, I didn't. I couldn't find. I didn't see any walking
gooberish,
taco stands because, no, I didn't see any. Now, I'm sure they were there. I mean, just because I didn't see them. Yeah, exactly. So, results-wise, the World of Outlaws, we've had so much fun this year with this debate about, we know Donny Schatz is Donny Schatz. Okay, we understand that. We all live in the real world. And we've had this debate, about who's the second best sprint car driver. And, the conversation's been good. We figured the Knoxville crowd was really, really strong with Danny Lasowski, Terry McCarl, Brian Brown, and Ian Madsen, that group. We knew Ohio with Blaney and that gang over there, Cody Dara and guys like that were good, Sheldon Hodenshield. We knew the posse was tough. They rolled in there, and the posse did well. We knew Hodnett and Stevie Smith and everyone else. But ultimately, when we get to the end of the night, the top 5 were the World of Outlaws. Mm-hmm. They're the best. There's no doubt. The funny thing of it is we all talk about it, and we'll call somebody in Pennsylvania, or we'll call someone in California, and we'll say, hey, how are you guys looking? Man, you guys look good. And they're like, nah, okay, time out. The World of Outlaws are the best for a reason, and really they showed it. 10 of the 25 were World of Outlaw cars. Knoxville had 6 of the 25 starters. Posse did well with 4.
That's right.
All-Star Circuit of Champions 3. Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour had Wayne Johnson representing them. You had Rico Aber, who's kind of a wild card. He doesn't really participate in anything. So really, really cool. But the World of Outlaws turned out to be king of the world, king of the mountain, and Donny Schatz is king of the mountain. Exactly. So
I'm waiting for them to rename that race.
Well, they're talking about it, calling it Schattsville now. The Schattsville Nationals. Exactly. Real quick, other winners, Jack Soderman, Tyler Walker, Chase Dietz, Blake Heimbaum, Jimmy Seger. We're going to talk to Jimmy a little bit later on. Later on, we're also going to talk to Sean Kirkpatrick. He is a local racer in Pennsylvania, and we're going to remember James Campbell Jr., who tragically lost his life at Williams Grove. So we're going to do that. But to get things started off, we'll step away. When we come back, we will talk to the reigning champ of the FVP Knoxville Nationals, Donny Schatz. He joins us next.
This is Winged Nation on MRN.com. Steve and Kendra will be right back.
Hi, I'm NASCAR driver Jeff Gordon. Did you know that 43 children are diagnosed with cancer each and every day? That more children die from cancer than any other disease. Athletes of all ages are dedicating their stats to change these stats, and you can too. Visit JeffGordonChildren'sFoundation.org to become a Kick It champion. No matter what your sport, you can use your points, laps, or goals to change the odds for kids with cancer. Make your stats really count. Become a Kick It champion.
Whatever you drive, wherever you go, Hercules Tires will get you there, whether you're running on dirt or running a job. Our dependable, high-quality tires are the perfect fit for your needs. For unmatched value, selection, and warranty with industry-leading road hazard protection, there's only one choice: Hercules Tires. To learn more, visit HerculesTire.com or call 800-677-9535. Hercules Tires, ride on our strength.
This is Winged Nation. Here's Steve Post and Ashley Stremme.
Yes, indeed. Having a great time. We are glad you joined us. Ashley Stremme sitting in for Kendra Jacobs. Joining us now is the winner of the FVP Knoxville Nationals, presented by Casey's General Store. Donny Schatz is on the line. Hello, champ. Congratulations.
Thank you, Steve.
Well, dude, have you come down off the mountain yet?
Didn't take me long to come down off the mountain. I've been helping here at Popeyes this morning to stock the back room, so that's about a reality check from winning the Nationals Saturday to helping out stock the storeroom.
Wait a minute. No glamour? So, in other words, calling us is doing you a favor and getting you out of a little manual labor?
You're getting me out of some manual labor, but the unfortunate part is I'll have to go back to it once I get off the phone with it. So, it's a good break for me.
Oh, the joy. Oh, the glamour of it.
It's so real. You know, the reality, what you win on Saturday, work on Monday. Schatz, I want to ask you, you've won so many of these, and it's unreal. It's impressive. It's history. But this one seemed a little different because you were extremely emotional in victory lane, maybe not like you have been in the past. Why is that? What finally hit home for you on this?
Well, I think people don't realize the magnitude the whole week long, and I think all the hype of, because we started on the pole, the year we've had, I think everybody's expectation was that we were going to just walk away with the race. But when you're in that position, it's really one of the toughest positions to be in because everything you do, it could be a stumble. You see it slipping away. It's not like it's easy like everybody thinks just because you have a great car, and you have to make all the right decisions. And it's the race team made the right decisions, and I was able to put together 50 good laps on the racetrack and not put myself in a bad position. So yeah, it was pretty emotional when I took the checkered. It's such a sense of relief, whether it's one time or 9 times. You still get that same lump in your throat to be able to win that race. And with Tony being there, with all the things that have gone on in the last 24 months with him in the sprint car world, it was pretty cool to see him there and the smile on his face. And you could just see his sense of how proud he was of everybody on the race team. So that made it extra special for sure.
Yeah, it was. It was really cool. I kind of sensed that. I saw some pictures in Victory Lane, and seeing Smoke smile was really, really cool, and you guys celebrating there in Victory Lane. Donny, a question about that race, and I know that there may be some things you can't share with us as far as details go, but I found it interesting that during the break, you're out there, you lead the first 26 laps. In the break, you guys make a gear change, okay? I'm sitting there going, have they lost their minds? I mean, then I realized that you and Ricky collectively have great minds, and yeah, I probably have lost mine. Just in general terms, what you can tell us, why that decision? What did it mean? Did it make the car better? How did you guys go with that plan?
Well, it really wasn't a hard decision for us. We question the gear every time we get on the racetrack, and when you're going to have a stop, at some point, I just told the guys that, Scuba asked me before we leave in the gear, and I said, well, let's leave the gear for now. If it's not right, we'll change it at the halfway point. And the racetrack has slowed down tremendously, so we changed the gear to accommodate that. So that's just a decision that we made before the race. I said if we're going to have any problems, if we're not going to be right, I want it to be in the first half. I want to make sure that we get the opportunity in the second half to make things better. So that we did, and we did change the gear. And believe you me, that everybody puts so much emphasis on so many things that, but the gear wasn't exactly, one of the most important things we changed. We might have changed the gear so nobody was paying attention to something else that we changed too. So it might have been a little bit of a game along the way.
Imagine that. Okay, good luck finding it, gang. Now everyone's going to be searching the videos.
Going back.
Everyone's going to be going back and finding all YouTube videos of it just to see what's going on. Exactly.
And we're not going to tell the story, of course, but when I watched on pay-per-view because I couldn't be there. No one would take me with them, unfortunately.
Oh.
But so I have to ask, there was 3 or 4 laps left, and you're in lap traffic, and you split those 2 cars. Listen, I don't know if it was like that in real life, but I'm telling you, on TV, what you did there was like a last-minute split decision that took big kahunas. What went through your mind?
Well, I've seen 7 or 8 laps on the board, and I knew we were going to hit lap traffic, and it was Jason Johnson and Paul McMahon, and I knew Paul had gotten upside down, so I didn't know if he had some damage or what, and he was, Paul was running in the groove that I wanted to be in, and them guys, it's not like they have to get out of the way or they know you're coming. It's probably better that they don't. So I didn't know what I was going to do when I got there. In fact, I thought, well, maybe I can just keep my pace slow enough so I can keep enough distance and not ever hit lap traffic. But, that's really the wrong thing to do. That's not the way that I race. So I just kept charging along until I got to them, and those guys were just racing hard. And I tried to time it right where I got to them, at the perfect opportunity to be able to try to slide through the middle of them. And it just worked out the way that it did. It was a little bit of luck, but, Paul was very respectable of the situation that was going on and didn't try to slide me back. So, yeah, it was it really helped put a little cushion in there between us and Kerry.
I got to be honest with you, and you know how things go, Donny, and actually it'll lead to the next question. There is a significant anybody but Schatz crowd out at Knoxville, which is we used to have the anybody but Kinzer crowd, so we all understand that. And when you split that group, it was like the wind went right out of that crowd's sails because that was the only hope along the way. And, Donny, I bring that up and I talk about that, the anybody but Schatz crowd, the oh, no, here we go again crowd. And you know, in talking with people who know a lot about racing, you say, you know, Donny's just doing what Donny's supposed to do. That's his job. He's supposed to lead every lap of the Knoxville Nationals. When you hear stuff, when you get reaction from fans, if you check out social media, is that motivational just to keep you driving even harder?
Not necessarily. No, it's not motivation at all. It just makes me think back when I was a kid. You know, I used to sit in the grandstands at Knoxville and Fargo at the few races that I got to go to as a kid, and they used to boo Steve Kinser, and I used to boo Steve Kinser. You know why? Because I wanted to fit in with the people around me.
Yep.
And that's really what it boils down to. It's amazing. Still, all the people that come down, and if one person comes down and says, "Good job," it erases all them boos. And I had a lady that was in her late 60s come down to me at the T-shirt trailer the other day, and she told me that it just hurt her definitely to be able to listen to them boos because she was very appreciative of my talents and my skills and the way that I compose myself. So all it takes is one person to erase all them bad thoughts, and that's just the way the world turns. There's nothing you can do about it. So I don't honestly. I'm not huge on Twitter. I'm not huge on Facebook. I find myself looking at it maybe once a day or so, and I wish I didn't even have it. But this is the 21st century, so you do have to keep up on it a little bit.
Well, the good news is the reason they're booing you is everybody always hates a winner for whatever reason, so it means you're doing something right for sure. I want to know about this trophy room. If it's got in your house, it's your movie theater / trophy room, if you've already got a spot for that trophy.
Oh, absolutely. I haven't actually got the trophy home yet. It's still on its way, so it's good thing the trophy's not as fast as what the race was. But yeah, I don't have any problem having places for trophies. I think that's the one thing. You know, maybe when I built the house, I had a spot for a couple of them because that was dreaming big at that time, and here we are, 10 or 12 years later, and have 9 of them. So very appreciative to find a place for them, and I got them scattered out. But I'm going to park this one here in my office for a little bit and appreciate it for the next couple months, and then this winter I'll probably move it home.
Well, no doubt, it's been spectacular. The other factor of it is now you're stocking shelves this morning, but you got a race tonight as well, so no time to celebrate as you guys are in McCool Junction. Tell us a little bit quickly about that racetrack.
Yeah, it's a really neat place. We've been going there for several years. It's been a pretty common stop after we leave Knoxville on the way towards Grand Forks and Minot and up towards the Western Canada. It's a really fast place just south of York, Nebraska, about 15 miles. It's really in the middle of nowhere, but what a great facility for the fans and the racers. It's an awful fast racing surface, and I understand they've had quite a bit of moisture the last couple of days, so it ought to be a real interesting night tonight, and we'll see what we can do to try to get ourselves a win.
Absolutely. We would expect nothing less. Donny, congratulations again. We appreciate your time joining us here on Wing Nation. Thanks for the time, and best of fortunes tonight.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you having me.
There we go. That's Donny Schatz joining us here on the program, and Donny will also be our featured guest on Saturday on MAV TV. So looking forward to following up a little bit more with Donny on that. So it is really cool. The guy's amazing. I mean, and
humble.
Yes, he is. He's just he's a real class guy. I mean, I've always enjoyed chatting with Donny. Always a lot of respect. And we sat in the stands. If you sat in the stands at Knoxville, you were around the Boo Birds. I mean, you couldn't say, there's no section there that there's not that. But you just sit back and I'll give it up to a lot of them. It's like we get a lot more of like, man, I wish someone else would win, but he is really, really good. Mm-hmm. We get more of that.
I think
exactly.
When they boo them, it's not necessarily because they don't like him.
I like what he said.
They just want to see somebody else win.
Yeah, I like what he said. He said he booed Steve Kinser because that was the popular thing to do at the time. Yeah, I think there's a lot of that because I know in following up with Twitter at the end of the day, at the end of the race, I was just like, more and more of the comments were, there's nothing you can do about this because Donny's doing what Donny's supposed to do, and he's really, really good. at what he does, that's for sure. Good enough that someday I'm sure he will be enshrined at the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame.
No question.
Absolutely. And museum in Knoxville, Iowa, where they have a new board of director member, Kendra Jacobs.
Stop it. I
Yes,
didn't know
Kendra
that.
Jacobs, absolutely. We're really
good
proud
for
of that.
her.
And we always take a look at birthdays from the Sprint Car Hall of Fame. Hal Robson, Canadian driver, California racer, Indianapolis 500 starter a couple of times. He was a 2010 inductee into the Sprint Car Hall of Fame. He was on Sunday. Granville, Hank Henry, and Tommy Estes Jr. birthday on Monday. Tomorrow birthday, Steve Stapp, legendary owner, builder, and mechanic, USAC championships. Mike Peters. Later in the week, Bob Kinzer, Cody Dara, Jonathan Allard has a birthday coming up on Saturday. And again, the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame, they are expanding the dream. You can find out more information at www.sprintcarhof.com. Stay with us. Oh, this next story, this is the coolest story ever. Jimmy Seger joins us next.
I'm Kerry Madsen, and you're listening to Wing Nation on MotorRacingNetwork.com.
Already dreading the thought of the off-season and winter? Head down under with Down Under Racing Tours. Don't be stuck in the cold and snow when you could experience the best sprint car racing in Australia, such as the Classic, World Series Speedway, King's Challenge, President's Cup, and the Australian title with Down Under Racing Tours. Owned and operated by an Australian who knows racing down under. Visit downunderracingtours.com or call 717-364-2576. Down Under Racing Tours for a racing experience of a lifetime.
Save on your next oil change with 5 quarts of Castrol GTX conventional motor oil and a MicroGuard filter for $22.99. Plus, earn double O Reward points. Protect your engine with Castrol GTX conventional motor oil and a MicroGuard filter, $22.99 at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limits apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
The new standard in race car screen printing and embroidery, Classic Ink USA. Full custom race car track swag apparel, quality customer service, and the industry's finest graphic designers, assuring quick turnaround and the highest customer satisfaction. See the latest designs at ClassicInkUSA.com, on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, or call us 724-482-6224. Serving racers and their teams, all divisions, all over the world. Classic Ink USA, at the track and on your back.
This is Winged Nation. Here's Steve Post and Ashley Stremme.
Have we got a story for you, folks? Now, this is just fantastic, and this segment brought to you by Classic Ink Screen Printing and Embroidery, so you can check those guys out at ClassicInkUSA.com. All right, made his return to racing, serious injury in June of last year at Williams Grove, returned, and on Saturday night, jumped aboard a 410 Sprint at Sharon Speedway, and rolled it. He parked it in the circle. He parked it. Jimmy Seger joins us on the program. Hey, Jimmy, what's going on, man?
How you doing, guys?
Well, congratulations.
Well, thank you. It doesn't get much better than that, does it?
No, not at all. We've got a story with Jimmy, okay? We've got a story with Jimmy now, and Jimmy, and we just mentioned brutal injuries last year at Williams Grove in June. And with our Knoxville Nationals shows, we always have some great support staff. You know, Kendra and I get to sit there and do everything, but, you know, it's Craig, it's Frank Beers, and then Frank usually has a bunch of buddies around that just do everything so that we can kind of big time it. You know, I mean, they really do. And last year, Jimmy was one of our guys. He was part of the Wing Nation crew at Knoxville, and a year later on the night of the Knoxville Nationals, he wasn't there with us. He was in victory lane. Jimmy, congratulations on that win. Tell us what the last 14 months of your life have been like, actually.
You know, honestly, not bad. I mean, you know, the start of it was kind of a little sketchy. You know, I had points in time where I would say things that didn't make sense, and I thought to myself, you know, I hope this doesn't last forever. Yeah. You know, and the doctors were telling me, you know, that it'll eventually, you'll work yourself out of it, and but you know, I ended up going to work actually right after I come home from the Nationals there last year. Like a coconut, I went out into the oil field and started swinging hammer, and I just kind of just kind of floated through it. And the beginning of, when was it there? Well, I guess towards the end of last year there, I was going out with some buddies and watching everybody race, and that was probably the hardest thing to do, to watch everybody else race and have fun. Even out at Knoxville last year, I was like, man, I so want to get into one of these cars, but I just had to wait. That's just all there was to it.
I love it. And you just turned 28. You celebrated a birthday last week, so happy belated birthday.
Well, thank you very much.
Jimmy, I've known you for several years now. I remember when you raced the Red 2. We parked beside each other week in and week out at Clinton County.
Yeah.
I just can't put into words, and I'm kind of getting choked up about it because I know what you've been through this past year. And it's just so cool to see you back. And just, I'm sorry, I'm getting all choked up. But to see you overcome what you've went through and to park it and know, your family and your dad and just, I know what's going on and what you've been through. It's just amazing, and I couldn't be more proud of you.
Well, I appreciate it, and the bottom line is if you have good faith, I think you can pretty much conquer all with that. It was an honest blessing, and I am so thankful for it. But I don't know. It's just the world keeps turning, and I get to go back and race. Like I said, I don't know how it gets much better than that.
No. Tell us about the race on Saturday night at Sharon.
You know what? At the first 10 laps there, I can honestly say that I have never ever driven a race car that worked that well, and I have to thank Jack Soderman for it. I'm sure you guys are familiar with Jack, but man, just the control I had, and I thought I'm not even running this car hard, and every time I pass one of my crew guys, one of my good buddies, Greg Tenoche, he had his arms spread as far apart as he could get them, and I just thought, there's no way. But there was a caution in the middle of the race, and I thought that I was smoking my tires off, so like a coconut, I slid up into the cold dirt and cooled them off. Well, I think I might have pickled myself there, but I started losing her towards the end there. I kept seeing front wings poke up beside me, and I thought, please just hold on. It was everything I could do, and getting into lap traffic, I was praying to hold on up there.
Gotta take it to the checkers. I love
That's
it.
right. That's right.
So your first race back in a 410. What any more? We gonna dabble here and there? Are we gonna be back down at the World Finals like you were 2 years ago? Where's your schedule going now?
Ashley, we have a business here, and there's a lot of people in my area that just love racing, and they come in like yesterday morning, Monday morning. They said, well, where are we going this weekend coming? And I said, guys, you're gonna have to stop back in Friday evening and ask, because our schedule is so cattywampus. If we got work rolling in our doors, and it's hard to say this, but we shut the pipes down on race cars. We got to go to work first. But as far as the rest of the year, I would love to go back down to Charlotte again. It just all depends on a million different combinations if it works. This weekend coming, there's a show out in Mercer, PA, that I hope we can get to. But like I said, if work keeps rolling in the doors, I don't know if we'll go or not. I got to work twice as hard. We support our own habit here, so it just depends.
What kind of work? A little bit more specifically, what kind of work do you guys do?
Well, actually, you know what? I am sitting out behind my shop right now, sitting on a giant junk pile of radiators. I rebuilt every type of radiator that you can even think of, and I'm probably one of the few that can do it. But just, I don't know. We do all kinds of stuff. We have a heavy truck garage, and then we have a radiator shop on the other side. We do just about everything.
That's really, really cool. You know, there's a theme here, Jimmy, and you're in good company working hard today. Okay, because prior to you, we had Donny Schatz on, and he was in a storeroom stocking shelves, is what he was doing. Yeah, exactly. I'm like, dude, you just won the Knoxville Nationals. He said, yeah, but the old man, we had to get back to work here, you know what I mean? And he's partners with his old man on the business, and I know the old man. You're cracking the whip as a case. And I think that's the cool part about it, and that just goes to show who you guys are and what you guys do, and that Tuesday morning you're sitting on a pile of radiators.
We're just humble hillbillies. That's about it.
I love it. And Pops is involved with that too, right?
What's that?
I said Pops is involved with that too, right?
Well, I don't know. You know, he strolls through. I generally just wave at him so we don't get to arguing with each other on his way by.
Well, I see that hasn't changed then.
No, we love each other to death, but we don't work with each other well, except for to races. We do go to races, but yeah, we all got to go back to work in the morning. And you know what? Actually, since you're on the phone, I was just talking to Dad. I didn't even let him know I was talking to you guys today until a little bit ago. He said you got to tell Ashley. Thanks for leaving us up here in the cold mountains.
Hey, you're welcome in North Carolina anytime. Always welcome here. We got a bed or two that you can sleep in, so anytime you want to come down, come on.
Well, maybe around the World Finals, we'll go drink a beer or something together.
That sounds good. I like it.
That would be awesome.
You got to drag David along with you, though.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Hey, he enjoyed talking to your dad, and it's cool because they actually had a connection as well. I had went up to them at the World Finals to talk to him, and David and Jimmer ended up talking, and they have, was it ASA background connections?
Yeah. That's old school to me. That's like ancient history.
That's it. Well, that's Stremme for you, ancient history. Jimmy, I'll tell you what, we had so much fun getting a chance to hang out with you in Knoxville last year, and you're part of the Wing Nation team, and then when we saw that on Saturday night, we lost our minds. So congratulations on the success. We'll be following along to see what the next one is, wherever it is, when business slows down enough for you guys to pull the door down on that garage and open the door on the other garage. But thanks for joining us, and congratulations on that win at Sharon.
Hey, thank both of you very much.
There we go. That's Jimmy Seger. And that is just so cool. That is just, just so amazing. And like I said, he was just out there, and we chatted about the injury a little bit, and he showed some pictures of the wreck at Williams Grove. It was a bad wreck. Mm-hmm. And so, and just amazing overcoming that. And then overcoming it in such a spectacular way. Yeah. And like I said, I think we jumped in the car. I'm not sure if Krager or Frank Beers or somebody, we jump in the car, and one of us fired up the Twitter machine, and we're like, you ain't going to believe this. Mm-hmm. This is just so cool. A year ago, he was out here just slinging stuff for us, and here he is winning races. So kudos to Jimmy Seger joining us on the Classic Ink screen printing and embroidery line. Great T-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, and everything else. They can get you hooked up at classicinkusa.com. That's www.classicinkusa.com. Also want to mention that the earlier portion of the show, the Valco Racing Wheels results page of the show, we didn't get a chance to talk about our friends at Valco. They just signed, Valco Racing Wheels, VAHLCO. They just signed. How about this? Okay, you go to Knoxville, and you just sign some hotshot from Pennsylvania named Brent Marks, okay? And they did their preliminary night. That on Friday night, Marks rolled the Valco Racing Wheels right in to the 55th annual FVP Knoxville Nationals. So how about that?
That's impressive.
Congratulations, of course, to Brent. But congratulations also to Valco Racing Wheels, one of our partners here on the show. And I talked to Taylor Weld out there, and they're just making sure that product is good. Yeah. We're all getting the word out. We're all talking about it a little bit. But it really was cool for those guys to have their wheels in the Knoxville Nationals. So Brett Marks, congratulations on that. You can find out more information on those guys at Valco, VAHLCO.com. That's VAHLCO.com. And we have spent a fair amount of the show talking about incredible success with Donny Schatz. And we have talked part of the show about overcoming incredible injury and returning to victory lane. And unfortunately, we're going to have to talk about losing one of our sprint car family. When we come back, Sean Kirkpatrick going to join us, and we're going to talk about James Campbell Jr., Jim Campbell, who tragically lost his life at Williams Grove on Friday night. So stay with us. Sean Kirkpatrick joins us next.
Hi, this is Sam Haferteep. You're listening to Wing Nation on MotorRacingNetwork.com.
Racers, that's who Valco wheels are. That's who they know, and racing is what they know. Valco Wheels focuses oval track and grassroots racing, and understand racers need a quality wheel that fits your budget. With over 25 years experience, Valco Wheels produces the best product and give you face-to-face support and customer service at the track. Fast delivery, innovative products, problem solving. Find Valco Wheels at Valco.com on Twitter or Facebook, or call Valco Wheels at 609-758-7013. Valco Wheels.
The National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum in Knoxville, Iowa. Your destination for sprint car history. Check out the Salute to Champion Doug Wolfgang exhibit, featuring 5 of Doug's sprint cars, all 5 of his winning Knoxville Nationals trophies, as well as helmets, uniforms, and other Wolfgang memorabilia. Also check out Damian Gardner's world's fastest sprint car that the Demon drove at 211 miles per hour at Bonneville. Open 7 days a week all year in the sprint car capital of the world, Knoxville, Iowa. The National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum.
This is Winged Nation. Here's Steve Post and Ashley Stremme.
We are so glad you joined us here on Wing Nation, and we celebrate the highs, and unfortunately, as a sprint car family, and we talked a little bit about the family nature of our sport. Unfortunately, we lost one of our family members on Friday night at Williams Grove. James Campbell Jr., racing there in Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania, tragically lost his life, a crash there at the Speedway. And another one of the great racers up in Pennsylvania joins us on the program now. Sean Kirkpatrick joins us on the line. Hello, Sean. Welcome to Wing Nation.
Hey, guys. How are you? I wish we could have met on better terms, but thanks for having me on.
I was going to say the same thing, Sean. I really was, and I appreciate you taking time to share with us. Just tell us a little bit about Jim, about James. Tell us a little bit about him.
Well, I think the best way to describe Jimmy was he was all around, a nice guy. I mean, I don't know anybody that could say, a bad word about Jimmy. He was a devoted family guy. He was devoted to to his job as the family business, kept that going. And he was devoted to racing, and he loved the sport. He loved doing it with his friends. He loved doing it with his family, and he just loved being around the racing environment. He didn't care if he was in the car or if he was helping somebody. It was just being involved, and racing in Central Pennsylvania has always been it was always in his heart, and something that he never was going to give up, and he was going to continue to pursue it. And he was just all around just an awesome guy, a great friend, a mentor to me. I consider him my big brother. And he was a big brother to a lot of people, especially in racing.
Absolutely. The infectious smile that Jim had, if you could not smile back when that man smiled at you, you always knew. He walked around and he was either sweat dripping off his face because he was working so hard, or he was walking around smiling and you had to smile back. I know you were a part of his crew Friday night, and then Saturday, New Egypt had the opportunity to honor Jim, and I know you were a part of that as well. What was it like seeing the sprint car community and family come together like they did Saturday at New Egypt? I know I saw a picture. They put 31s, everybody in the stands on the parade put their hands in 31s in memory of Jim. And I know you were on the flag stand. Were you able to see that?
Yeah, I was, a little bit. It was a pretty emotional night for me. There's not been many nights where I've gone racing without Jimmy. My nights consisted of either racing with Jimmy, with him helping me, or I was helping him, or I was on the phone with him at the track asking for help and stuff. And, that night on Saturday was pretty emotional. Seeing everybody come together, the racing community in this area and all together is, it's like one big family, but especially in central Pennsylvania. And everybody knew Jimmy, and everybody knew his father and knew his brother Sean. And, that's kind of what central Pennsylvania racing is all about, is the family that goes into it, and the devotion. And, that was, so a lot, we've had, the family's had a lot of support, a lot of people pulling together and doing everything that they can do for the family, and just showing their support, in that way. And it just keeps coming. I mean, I keep hearing stuff and seeing stuff on social media, and I think it's pretty overwhelming. And Jimmy touched a lot of people, and just seeing his smile, when he walked through the pits, everybody would throw out a hand and wave or handshake or talk to him, and it was, you really couldn't not smile when you saw Jimmy. And that's what everybody remembers about Jimmy, and that's important for the family to know that was who Jimmy was. He's just a happy guy, and just wanted to be there and be involved. So,
Sean, you mentioned his dad. Is that where he got his passion from racing, or did it go deeper in the Campbell family?
Yeah, his dad always was racing. I remember thousands of stories he would tell me about, getting picked up from school, to go racing for the weekend with the family. So ever since he was young in diapers, the whole family's been racing. They were, USAC, URC, 410, running at Steel and Grove, Port Royal, and that's where it all started, and it's always been that way. And after his father passed, he kept racing, and him and his brother kept racing. So, and they kept that going. It's just it's in their blood, and it's who they are, and and it's in the family. So,
I believe the viewing is Wednesday and Thursday. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay, I'll have to look that up and see.
Sean, these are not what we like doing on Wing Nation, but they're what we like doing as members of the Sprint Car family. The immediate family, are there things that the Sprint Car community, there are things we can do to reach out to them or to support them, or is it prayers? What do you suggest as a Sprint Car community? Those of us who do not know, you've shared with us, but what can we do as a community?
The one thing that I think was, I remember most about Jimmy was he never wanted anything. He never wanted money. He never wanted parts for the car or anybody. He just wanted the camaraderie that he got at the track, and he wanted to support it. He loved being around the people and around his friends at the track, and his family's the same way. They don't need anything. They just, the support to them is, and the all the kind words and all the nice things like that is going a long way for them, and it's a big help for them to get through a very difficult time for them. So there are a lot of different things you can do. A lot of up here the tracks are doing everything that they can to show their support and whatnot. So there's not anything that is I would say in stone to be able that are set for the family to help them out. They're doing okay. They just, I think more of the support, the constant support is really a big help for them.
Well, I mean, I'm we certainly do offer that up. Sean, as we stated here a couple times, this is not how we like to talk to folks, but it is something we need to do along the way. We appreciate your coming on the show and sharing with us about Jimmy and telling us a little bit about his story. We feel like we have a little bit better understanding of who he was now, and send our best to the family and our thoughts and prayers with you as well as you work through this difficult time. Thank you for joining us here on Wing Nation.
Yeah, thank you for having me. This is definitely, again, not how we want to, what we want to talk about in racing, but, I know the family really appreciates all the support. They will, continue to work through a tough time, but all the help through the racing community and all the friends and family, goes a long way. And it's just that little bit. So thank you again, guys.
You got it. Thanks. That's Sean Kirkpatrick. As we remember, Jimmy Campbell Jr. Tragically lost his life on Friday night at Williams Grove. Stay with us. We'll be back with more Wing Nation in just a moment.
This is Paul McMahon, and you're listening to Steve Post and Kendra Jacobs on Wing Nation.
Nothing looks classier than a jet black car or truck. Keep that mirror-like shine with products formulated especially for black finishes. Right now at O'Reilly Auto Parts, pick up Turtle Wax Jet Black Spray Wax or Jet Black Spray Detailer, your choice, $7.99. O'Reilly Auto Parts, better better prices every day. Limit supply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
The American Sprint Car Series returns for its 24th year. Over 150 events across national and regional schedules, 56 cities, 16 states, and some of the sport's best like Herrera, Swindell, Hafertepe, and Reitzel, along with the next generation of stars. See the full lineup of events at ASCSRacing.com. Get updates on Facebook and Twitter, and catch every Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour event live on RacingBoys.com.
This is Winged Nation. Here's Steve Post and Ashley Stremme.
Just want to follow up a little bit on Jimmy Campbell's memorial service and viewing Wednesday night from 6 o'clock till 8 o'clock, and then on Thursday from 10:30 to 11:30 at Our Lady of Good Counsel Church in Southampton, Pennsylvania. Services following that. And in lieu of flowers, the family's requested if you care to make a donation, be made to the Women's Humane Society in Bensalem, Pennsylvania. So certainly, if that's something that that you choose to do, that's what the family has asked, and we just our heartfelt prayers and thoughts with the family of Jimmy Campbell. And Ashley, we're dealing with another situation with Kevin Swindell. And, Kevin, they issued a statement yesterday that the second surgery on the back, and they're worried about the spinal cord, and they're worried about it. But we just kind of keep the Swindell family in our thoughts and prayers as well. Kevin, Zoe, his little girl.
Yes.
You think about it, what does a little girl understand about that and what she doesn't understand? And then Sammy and Amy, his mother and father. Mm-hmm. And, it's just, I can't imagine what they're going through. But it sounds like with what they're going through, they're managing it as well as can be expected.
Yeah, absolutely. It sounds like he still has his little, what's the word I'm looking for? Little pokes and jabs. His girlfriend Jordan tweeted a picture of, and he had his the heart rate deal thing on, and he said ET phone's home.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it was all lit up on the end of his finger. So at least I think his spirits are still there, and he understands what he's going through and what it's going to take, but he's still the Kevin Swindell that everybody knows and loves.
So we certainly will continue to keep Kevin and his family in thoughts and prayers as we move forward and move on and just kind of work our way. Speaking of moving forward, NASCAR, the sprint car world. Yeah, how about that?
What are you talking about?
I know, man. I'll tell you what, that was a bad. That was
slap.
How about that? You can't. I'm not allowed to say that word on this show. No, the sprint car world moves on. We mentioned this with Donny Schatz tonight. DirtVision.com, baby, is going to be fired up because the boys are in McCool Junction, Nebraska, at Junction Motor Speedway. So they race there. Friday night, one of everyone's favorite, River City Speedway in Grand Forks, North Dakota. They love going up there.
North Dakota.
Yes, North Dakota. And on Sunday night in Nodak Speedway in Minot, North Dakota. So really, really good stuff. Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour, our friends there, they get back at it. They have got a big one on Saturday night at Missouri State Fair Speedway in Sedalia, Missouri. So the Lucas Oil ASCS Tour getting back at it. Aaron Reitzel is the point leader there. But Johnny Herrera is closing in. Oh, man, we love our ASCS guys. Those guys are so great. Got a chance at Knoxville to hang with Wayne Johnson. He was on our show, and Wayne did really good. He was the Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour, presented by BAF TV, representative in the Knoxville Nationals, and he had a throwback paint scheme, and just I cannot get enough hanging out with Wayne Johnson. We talked on the show, and then we talked over in the pit area. And he's just one of those guys that I just always seem to gravitate towards. We didn't. I don't know that we even talked about racing. I mean, we talked more about just family and life and everything else. He's his move to the Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour, and he's climbing back up in there as well. He's got a ways to go yet, but Wayne Johnson as well. But really, really cool to see him in the Knoxville Nationals. And, so great to see. So they'll be doing that. UNOH All-Star Circuit of Champions, Friday night, I-96 Speedway in Lake Odessa, Michigan. Saturday, Butler Speedway in Quincy, Michigan. Sunday, Millstream Speedway in Findlay, Ohio. I met the owners of Millstream. I think the Hammers might be their name.
That's appropriate.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I'll tell you, you want to talk about passion, man. They took this old, beat-up, worn-out racetrack, and they moved 80 zillion tons of concrete that had been stored on the property.
Oh, no.
Yeah, exactly. They have really got it bad for Millstream. And, man, I'll tell you what, I just hope everybody in the state of Ohio, Pennsylvania, Kentucky, Indiana just goes there on Sunday night and supports them. These are business people in the local community that want to see sprint car racing thrive. They've resurrected a racetrack that has sat idle, and they've got some really neat plans with what they want to do with it. But those are all contingent upon folks coming in and showing up. So you got to support it. So that was really, really cool. National Sprint League Friday night, Fairmont in Minnesota. Saturday, Clay County Speedway in Spencer, Iowa. IRA busy. Wilmot a couple of nights this week, and then Angel Park on Sunday. Weekly 410 Racing, Attica, Ohio, Lernerville Speedway, Silver Dollar Speedway, and Williams Grove Speedway. Saturday, Greenbush Race Park in Minnesota. Lincoln that's the fabulous Lincoln Speedway. Mercer, Ohio Valley Speedway in West Virginia. The Port, the Speed Palace. Whoop, whoop. Yes. Oh, you had to get that in, didn't you? St. Francis County Raceway in Farmington, Missouri. And Sunday night, Houston Speedway. And Susquehanna is back running on Sunday night.
Just a quick plug about my track, the Speed Palace, Port Royal Speedway. So the World of Outlaws, again, are coming to Port Royal at the end of October. I believe it's the 24th or the 25th, somewhere around there. I have to brag because I'm super excited. But the modifieds that we build, we race, will be racing with the World of Outlaws that night. And I'm really excited.
So the Stremme clan is going up there. So you're going to be.
So I get like the best of both worlds, and this girl couldn't be more excited about it.
That is so cool. So you're going to be racing up there.
Yeah, David's going to be
racing at the Speed Palace.
I'm kind of nervous because it's been a very long time since I've been there on the competitive side of things again. Yeah. So I don't know. It'll be interesting, but my heart is beaming because sprint cars and my husband and racing at Port Royal, it couldn't get any better for me. So
absolutely. That is really, really cool. They did a really neat thing, and I don't know how they pulled it off or what they did. And it might have been a matter of someone jiggling some wires and doing something. But Blaine Heimbach scored the win. But they got done earlier enough. So what they did is they had big screens and they had the Knoxville Nationals on. So
and they even got a shout out on the
Johnny Gibson gave him a shout out. Hey to the folks up on the big screen at Port Royal. And so then there was a big group up in Lincoln that was watching on some big screens in the parking lot camping.
Awesome.
So really, really cool, and just great the way the entire 410 sprint car world, even when racing on a Saturday night, let's get buttoned up, let's do everything, and let's have a party.
Done. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. So.
And I'm on the Twitter machine here.
Yes, exactly.
And Jake's way back. Okay, so he just tweeted me, and I like his idea. So Kreger, whoever we need to talk to, Posty, it says, since Ashley Stremme didn't get to go to Knoxville, maybe Wing Nation will send her to Williams Grove to cover the National Open.
Oh.
I like where he's going with this.
Well, you like the way he thinks.
I do. Yeah, and he likes burgers.
And he likes burgers, exactly. Yeah, Tim up there, he's great. I mean, boy, you are working this, aren't you?
I am.
You're working it. What about the postman going to the National Open?
Well, you can come too.
I'm working
Listen,
that
see,
too.
I'll invite you, even though y'all
You
don't invite me.
Yeah,
but
I hear
it's
ya.
fine.
I hear you. Absolutely.
Maybe we can do something at Port too for the World of Outlaw.
No, you know what? I know exactly. So lots going on, and that's the beauty of it. And one other event coming up is next week. Fred Raymer's big show is next Wednesday night. We'll talk about that a lot next week. But it's the Central Pennsylvania Legends Race.
We had Billy Pouch Jr. on our show previous, so he's going to be, his dad is going to be jumping back in a sprint car, even though he's not retired from racing. He's retired from sprint car racing.
What Fred has done with this thing is it's not only going to be a driver reunion, but the cars. The Al Hamilton number 77, there's a picture online of Keith Kaufman wheeling that car, practicing it. Of course, Wolfgang in the Weikert car. You know, so really.
Well, and Fred said they interviewed him on the cushion, and he was like, I think this race is more for me than it is the fans.
And so that's going to be big. And we'll talk more about that. That's next Wednesday night, August 26th. Jeff Gordon, Kick It Foundation. Of course, we do our Kick It Driver of the Week. $112,000, I think, is what they raised out there. So what we're going to do for our Kick It Driver of the Week is we're just going to give it to every driver, whether they sat in a dunk tank, whether they tended bar, whether they raced in a go-kart, they had slip and slides at the kickball game this year.
Kendra was in that.
Well, I guess Bronson Mason was the first one that really gave it a workout. So we're going to give the Kick It Driver to everybody that participated in all of the Kick It festivities all last week, because it takes all of them to raise $112,000. By the way, Jeff Gordon going to join us on Wing Nation. Also, we did a little interview out of Knoxville with him, so we get Gordon in the pits at Knoxville. Yeah.
Awesome.
That's a na-na-na-na-na.
In front of the yellow and red 16 vintage.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, really, really cool stuff. We'll have that on Wing Nation Weekend, as well as Donny Schatz going to join us to talk about that, and our Tweet Your Seed and a T-shirt. Oh, my gosh. We just did so much fun. Great stuff. So, again, we certainly send our best to Kevin Swindell and his family. Before we get out of here, again, we'll mention that along the way, and certainly keep the family in your thoughts and prayers as we move on and continue on working our way forward. We appreciate Donny Schatz joining us here on the program. Jimmy Seger, what a story. What a story. I mean, that's fantastic. And Sean Kirkpatrick joining us as well to talk a little bit about James Campbell Jr. So just so much going on in the sprint car world. We're kind of in this post-Knoxville lull.
Slump.
You know, it's kind of the December 26th, 27th, and 28th. We're not ready for New Year's Eve
January 1st comes.
Yeah, we're not ready for New Year's Eve yet. You know, but we're just in this post-slump, and it's all right, and it's all good. World of Outlaws going to get going tonight to get us a little bit fired up. And then this weekend, everyone is back at their regular tracks. So it is going to be really, really good. Ashley, I appreciate you hanging around and joining us here.
All the time.
Yeah, absolutely. So we appreciate Ashley joining us here. Again, Wing Nation Weekend, MAV TV this weekend. Thank you for joining us, though, here on Wing Nation.
You've been listening to the nation's premier winged sprint car radio program, Winged Nation. Tune in next Tuesday at noon for more talk from the dirt tracks. Winged Nation is also available on demand in the MRN.com Media Center or download from iTunes or Stitcher. Winged Nation is a production of the Motor Racing Network. All rights reserved.